Yes.
Okay. Now you tell me, Dipesh, that there is so much hype in the market for these investment banking profiles. So is it a myth? Is it a reality? Take me to a reality check. Like how much does an average investment banker get paid in all?
So let me tell you the industry trends, and then you yourself can decide whether it's a myth or reality.
Now tell me like what work exactly you do? Like I'm aware what investment bankers do, but I want to listen from your
Yeah,
because you are working there.
sure.
Like what do you do? How is your day go? And like how's your work experience till date in this profile?
But exceptionally, if we are working on some live deals and it is on a crucial stage, the work hours stretch to 14 15 hours in a day.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of Mini Podcast Series. Today we have Dipesh, and he's working in one of the renowned investment banking firm. Hi, Dipesh. How are you?
I'm good, Naman. How are you?
All good. All good. All right, Dipesh. Tell me something about yourself, your education, your work experience in some few minutes, please.
Sure. So by qualification, I'm a CA. I have done all the three levels of CA in the very first attempt. I became CA in September 21. Alongside, I have also done CS Executive and achieved All India in 13. I have also cleared CFA Level 1 and Level 2. Talking about the work experience, I have done 3 years articleship from Kalanian Company, Jaipur. Alongside, I have done 3 months internship from a boutique German investment banking firm that is Agilis Advisors GmbH. After qualifying CA, my first job started with Avenir Capital, which is a boutique investment banking firm based in Mumbai. I've spent around 2 years there, but after that, my mother wanted me to come back to my hometown, that is Jaipur. So I started looking for some remote jobs because Jaipur में remote jobs I don't think होती है investment banking. So yes, so that's why I switched to Comcap LLC, which is a US based investment banking firm, and the Indian team is working remotely in the Indian timings only.
Okay. So you mentioned that training of 2-3 months. So is it like before qualifying you did that internship of 3 months?
Yes. Just after appearing for C final exams, till the first job started, there were around 3 months. So in that time, I've done.
Okay. So if from starting you are in investment banking domain only, right?
Yeah, well, not from starting, but maybe after the appearing for the C final exams, I met some folks, discussed some things like future career trajectory and all. Then at the time, I got to know a lot about investment banking and pretty interested in that domain. Actually, it's a very fancy name, investment banking. That's why at that time it was very interesting to know about it. I have done a lot of research and about like compensation, working and all, and that's how I generated my interest in investment banking. And yeah, that's why the internship.
Fantastic. But you have a lot to add in your education academics. Like you are a chartered, you are a company secretary, you are done CFA. So is it like so much is required to get into investment banking?
No, no, not at all. So it's CA is more than sufficient if like first of all, if you can get some all India rank, that is cherry on the top. If not, a first attempt is required. But if you can get some value addition in like CFA, if you can do some finance courses like CFA, that is really value addition, but not CS. So I have not done CS final.
Mhm.
He has done CS executive and that too with IPCC only. I got some time and around 40-50% course was same. So
Okay.
so,
So you mentioned me 2 to 3 things. Like apart from CA degree, one should have to get into these.
yeah, no. So you can get uh, if you can do CFA, that's very good. I mean, it is perfect for some finance related jobs for investment banking, private equity, venture capital. So you should do it if you can. Otherwise, if you can do some sort of internships, that is also fine. CA with some sort of in investment banking internship is fine.
Okay. Cool. Fair enough. All right. Now tell me like what work exactly you do? Like I'm aware what investment bankers do, but I want to listen from your because you're working there.
Sure.
Like what do you do? How is your day go? And like how's your work experience till date in this profile, in this domain?
Sure. So primarily there are two sort of works in investment banking. First is deal origination or deal sourcing, or we call it business development. And the second one is deal execution. So in business development, what we do, we try to find some relevant prospect based on industry, sector, company size, total fundraise, last funding round, and all. Then we decide if it can be a good prospect for our company or not. If it is, we try to connect with them. We try to schedule some call, pitch them, and if they agree or if it is converted, we sign an engagement letter with them. This is how we get the deals. After getting the deal, we go to deal execution. So in deal execution, we try to find some relevant investors for that company who would be interested in investing in that company or maybe buying that company if it is M&A. After that, we create some teaser, some financial models and do some analysis like retention analysis and all. After that, we connect with those relevant investors. We share all the materials, uh, try to schedule the call, try to explain everything regarding company and the deal. Then we resolve all their queries, and that's how we get say IOI and LOI. After that, we negotiate on valuation, and that's how we close the deal. That is it. These are the primary to work which we do in investment banking. We on an average or on daily basis, we spend around 60-65% of the time on this deal execution thing, remaining time on business development.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, okay, now I got it. Like, what do you do? Now, tell me your work experience. Like, how is it been? Like, been working in for 2-3 years in this profile, and how's the work pressure and all? And is it like
Okay.
like you're working remotely from Jaipur? Like, how to get this into remotely?
Okay. So I would say that work experience is pretty good since we got a chance to connect with some best minds like top tier VC and PE funds, some startup founders and all. So that's why we get to learn a lot and from our team members also. So I would say that work experience is pretty good. Apart from that, if you would say regarding remote working, so I think remote working has its pros and cons as we all know. So that there was a lot to discuss because I also want to get into it. So pros, of course, we all know like we don't spend a lot of time on some traveling and those stuff. If we can work from home, can spend a time some time with our families as well. And also, I mean, there is nothing like you are coming late from office and all. You can take your lunch and dinner on time. That's it. If there are no calls scheduled, and that's a rare thing. I mean, on those times. So those are some common benefits. Regarding cons, of course, you don't get a chance to connect physically with your team members, and of course, that's it.
Okay, perfect. Now let's come to your interview experience. Like, how many rounds
Yeah.
they take up to get into this domain? Like, what questions you were faced? Exactly, I wanted to know, please.
Okay. So, before jumping onto that interview rounds, I'll tell you regarding that experience. Why I got the calls. So, uh, in Avenir, it was very interesting. I mean, I have added that open to work frame with my profile picture on LinkedIn. As we all do. I mean, since we are just qualified CS, we are looking for jobs. So after that, I have yeah. So I have seen an opening at Avenir Capital. After that, I have connected with the director on LinkedIn. I mean, I have just sent a connection request, and I didn't add any sort of note. Just after accepting the request, he sent me the first message that could you share your CV on this email ID. That was very interesting for me. So at that time, we were
That's interesting to hear too.
yeah. We are connecting with a lot of people on LinkedIn, and we are not getting replies a lot. I mean, so that's what was interesting. After that, my first round was virtual at Avenir, and yeah, it was done well. After that, they asked me to fly down to Mumbai, and they sent me the flight tickets. I went to Mumbai. The other two rounds were face to face, and they were held in Mumbai in their office. And after that, I got the offer.
So just for the interview stage, you went to Mumbai.
Yeah.
Okay, here now. Okay.
After at Comcap, I would say I've connected with one of the team members. I seen the opening on LinkedIn. I connected with one of the team members, and then he connected with me. He connected me with the HR, and that's how interview was scheduled. So,
Okay.
talking about interview rounds.
Yeah, before coming to interview, like, okay, I've got your point, like how you connected with these organizations. But please mention me 2 or 3 more things, like how one can find these vacancies and in these domains.
Okay, sure. So, of course, finding is you should explore LinkedIn. You should explore IM Jobs. These two portals are very good, I would say. Other than that, Shine is also fine nowadays.
Shine.
You can start looking on these, but if you would apply directly on LinkedIn or directly on IM Jobs, there are chances that you will get the call. So you should try to connect with some relevant people in that company, maybe senior team members or HR could be involved in the hiring process. So you should connect with them. If you can't connect with them, you should directly try to find their email IDs and do some cold emailing also.
Yeah, cold emailing sometimes works.
It really works. It really works.
Yeah, cool enough. Now let's dive into your interview experience and all.
Yeah. So there were 3 rounds in both of these companies. So the first round was mostly regarding background and understanding the work we have done. The other 2 rounds were fully technical. So in the technical rounds, we get questions mostly on valuation, ratio analysis, financial statements and all. They मतलब ऊपर से क्वेश्चन नहीं होता है. They just try to deep dive in everything like how every line item in financial statements are connected, like balance sheet items, working capital, they are connected with cash flows and all. So that very practical questions they would ask. Ratification will not work, and they also just some sort of like they also ask some financial news and very big M&A deals related questions as well, like HDFC and HDFC Bank, Geo and Hotstar's. So
Deals which have already been done. So like, what's your point on that and all?
yeah. I mean, they will not go very deep in the deal part since you are a fresher. So they'll just ask if you know something about it or not. Like what's the deal? If you know anything about like valuation, like anything you can tell about that. And after that, they might ask your takeaway on that deal. That's very common. Nothing more than that.
So one should be aware like what's going in the market, which deals are going, like how to take up a valuation, and the numbers should be strong of that individual, right? Because ultimately you are getting a front end job of finance.
Yes.
Okay. Now you tell me, Dipesh, that there is so much hype in the market for these investment banking profiles. So is it a myth? Is it a reality? Take me to a reality check. Like how much does an average investment banker get paid and all?
So let me tell you the industry trends, and then you yourself can decide whether it's a myth or reality. So for freshers, I'll tell you what these bulge bracket investment banks pay. These bulge bracket investment banks like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Deutsche Bank, Bank of America, they pay around 20 to 25 LPA to freshers. And rank holder in addition to, sorry?
To rank holder freshers?
No, it depends. I mean, Deutsche Bank only hires CA rankers, not others. But JP Morgan, I think, also hires some first round, first attempt.
First attempt. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it depends, but they pay around 20 to 25 LPA fixed. In addition to that, they give around 30 to 50% bonus based on deals closed and of course performance of the candidate. There are some exceptions, of course, like Bank of America pays 35 LPA around to freshers also, but I think they hire from top tier MBA colleges. So there are some exceptions, but talking about the boutique investment banks, they pay around 15 LPA to freshers as fixed, and their bonuses are pretty good. I mean, it is like 30 to 100%.
After 100
on the
performance.
Yes, it's very common in some boutique investment bank. Like, of course, it depends on the performance of the candidates as well as the deals closed in that particular year. But yeah, their bonuses are the higher than the bulge bracket investment banks. Okay, and but
it's like
their catch. Sorry.
Yeah, what's the difference between these boutique investment banks and those big investment banks?
Yeah. So these big investment banks like JP Morgan and all, they give you some specific work, specific profiles. Like one of my friends was in JP Morgan, so he was given some mid office work or back office work where he haven't seen some financial models and all. He was working on some presentations, I think, pitch decks, and he was working on that thing only. But in boutique investment banks, you will be working from end to end, everything, end to end deal execution, from teasers, sim models to talking to investors and clients, everything.
It's like a mediocre. It's like a mediocre articleship firm and Big Four.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
Exactly. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, there is a catch in the bonus thing. Actually, if they announce bonus in March, they'll give you in 2 tranches. So the first tranche of 50 to 60% will be paid in May or June, but the remaining portion is paid in November or December. And if you leave in between, you won't get paid that second tranche.
Okay. So there's some obviously they are trying to hold you up.
Retention, yeah.
Retention.
It's sort of retention bonus.
Okay. Now you tell me one thing that you curse about your job and you enjoy about your job. Curse like could be anything like workload or anything.
Sorry?
One thing you curse about your job and one thing you enjoy about your job.
Okay. So one thing I really enjoy about my job, I've already told you that we get to work with some of the best minds like top tier VCP funds and startup founders. And also actually since investment banking is a fancy term, a fancy job profile in the in the industry. So yeah, I really enjoy working in investment banking. But one thing I don't like is of course the long working hours of investment banking or any finance industry you will say. So or some weekend working also.
Like how many hours you work on a day basis, like on an average?
On a daily basis, of course, it's not too much. We get to work some around 10 hours on a daily basis. But exceptionally, if we are working on some live deals and it is on a crucial stage, the work hours stretch to 14, 15 hours in a day.
Okay, so it depends on deal and all. Yep.
Just stage out a deal.
Okay, cool now. Okay. Now taking to the end of the podcast, one last piece of advice you want to give to any upcoming say freshers who want to get into IBs. Any piece of advice you want to give from your experience?
Sure. So I've seen a lot of CVs, some CA from some CA freshers only. So what they usually do, they want to get into IB. They are applying for some IB jobs, but their CV is like auditing and accounting only. So what I would say is that just create a separate CV for investment banking profiles. And what you need to highlight is you don't need to highlight like you have done some audits of companies having turnover above 500 crores. You can highlight or you can write that analyze financial statements of companies having turnover above 500 crores. So you need to highlight those key terms which will be relevant for investment banking profiles. They have nothing to do with your auditing, accounting, and taxation experience. So just highlight those things. These are some minor things you need to focus on each and everything you're writing in your CV. We will be will decide if you get an interview call or not. So that's why I'm saying just highlight those things which will be relevant based on your job description and all. Like in taxation also, just highlight M&A taxation or deal related taxation if you got a chance to work on that. Don't highlight some income tax returns and the GST returns and all. These are not relevant.
Okay. That's a very good advice. Okay.
Yeah, as I know today, interview is a second step. First of all, your CV should get shortlisted.
Exactly.
That's why create it very carefully and it should be properly for investment banking or finance related profiles only, not auditing or accounting. It is separate series.
Yep, perfect. Now add up on this, like if I am a safe fresher, I have a audit experience of 3 years, which generally most of the people have. And CFA is a very long degree and all. So tell me, few short courses to add up to value of my CV, like financial modeling, or what you suggest for short-term courses, which courses we should go ahead with.
Yeah. So of course, apart from CFA, there are a lot of courses on Udemy, Coursera, and all. You have already mentioned like financial modeling. It is the very important course I would say to mention in CV. Financial modeling हो गया. Other than that, there are some courses on investment banking also. They give you training for 3 to 6 months properly for investment banking profiles. I just forgot the name of that institute. I thought it CFIA or what. I don't remember. It's a US based institute.
Give me the name, please. After this podcast, will attach in the description for reference. Yep.
Sure. They probably train you only for investment banking or finance related profiles. After that, they also like do some campus placements and all.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Anything we missed? I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we covered everything.
All right, let's take it to the closing. All right, Dipesh, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking time for this podcast.
Thank you so much, Navan, for having me.
Yeah,
It was great.
thank you. And anybody who has any further questions about investment banking, you can reach out to Dipesh. I'll be attaching his LinkedIn profile in my description. So please, Dipesh, help them out.
Sure, for sure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.